This is the South Carolina Historical Magazine. We're going to go to this particular section. Free black owners of slaves. Let that sink in. Now you have wobbles with stupidity. Now like, whoa, well, that couldn't be because, you know, I mean, then how come? Exactly. You guys were already working with Spaniards. This is what makes it even worse. That you guys don't even want to pick up your own fucking books and find out exactly, hey man, did we really have a lot to do with slavery? Yeah, you did. And not like in a sense where it happened to you completely, fully, wholly to you. No, technically slavery as a whole is inapplicable to you because as a whole, it didn't happen to you. As a matter of fact, there were several of y'all that were free. Free to do wherever the fuck you wanted. Page 129 on the bottom says, where did these free blacks come from? Some had never been slaves. Excuse me? They had been indentured servants. Some had purchased their freedoms. Others were born of free parents, while some were born free by miscegenation. Yeah, that's why a lot of you guys look like that. A lot of you guys are actually white. Like, for example, Bob Marley, his whole line, they totally think that they're, you know, quote unquote, African Americans, quote unquote. But nah, that whole bloodline, bro. If you come from Bob Marley and you're a boy, you're a white guy. You're just a white guy with good woolly hair and a tan. That's it. Others, let's say, and then it says here, others were born of free parents. Some were born of miscegenation. Slaves were also emancipated from meritorious military duty for faithful service by the last will, yada, yada, yada. Check this out. Free blacks became slave owners early in our history. Indeed, one of their first legal known sections of slavery, other than as punishment for crime, involved a black owner. In 1654, Anthony Johnson and his wife, in a court suit, gained the service of their black servant, John Casor, for life. So now, follow what's going on here. Prior to 1654, most people came through an indentured servitude program. You understand? A contract. For the most part. All right? We did not have that opportunity. They did. Okay? White and black folks, they did. You understand me? And at this time, Sephardic Jews were self-proclaimed. These guys were also enslaving these people, but under indentured servitude. Now, they were selling us left and right. I'm telling you, family, this shit goes deep. But it said here, like in 1654, right? You can see that this Anthony man, he's black and he owns slaves, but he happened to own this slave, sues him. This is the first case where an indentured servant contract became perpetual servitude.
That's gonna hurt!
So do you understand now what nation of people moved the line? What nation of people changed the line between indentured servitude to perpetual slavery? It wasn't a white guy. It was a black woman and a black man that sent another black man to court because they didn't agree that his contract was done. So then what happened? Because of that, now you got perpetual slavery, fuckface. How come you guys don't talk about this? You're too caught up in being a racist piece of shit, stealing the history of other people, while at the same time causing erasure. Yo, it's because they're scared, homie. That's why. It's because motherfuckers are scared to talk about this stuff. Everybody's over here fresh on like, oh, these Jews, these fake Jews, these Khazars. Bro, I've been saying that shit since 2022. There's other people that have been talking about that for forever. But, you know, it's funny because the Anglo-Saxons that are arguing about this and the Negros that are arguing about this don't ever want to talk about this right here. Free blacks became slave owners early in our history. Indeed, one of the first known legal sanctions of slavery and in punishment for crime involved a black owner. We know this. And you know, here's the funny part, man. And listen, this is why you white folks and you black folks, right? And you Jews, y'all don't ever want to talk about this shit. Because you guys were all involved. See, you guys have always been involved in this. But now you want to act like you never were part of it. The Anglo says he ruled. The Negro says he was enslaved. The Jew says he was never here. You know, there's one person you can't lie to, and that's me. And look, listen, I know it. People hate this channel. I get it. I'm not polished. I'm not the nicest man in the world. I don't say all the right things. You know what I mean? But I don't fucking lie. And I see right through fucking snakes. I see all of Psalms 83. I see all of you evil, wicked ass people. And now all of you now are just trying to fight for yourselves because you have no idea where this is going. You know what I mean? Come on now, man. Look, listen, I every now and then I see some videos coming through my feed, and it's like African people recording TikTok videos about stuff. And then I happen to run into some that all of a sudden black, like African people from Africa are bringing up like videos about Khazars, that they're not the real Jews. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then it's like they're kind of emphasizing that Negroes from here are. And I'm like, wait a minute, bro. You sold each other to slavery. Why would Africa want to even get part of that shit? Why would you want to talk about it? Anyways, what do I know? And you're not seeing this. Actually, let me say this real clearly. Slave owning by free Negroes was so common in that period of the Commonwealth as to pass unnoticed and without criticism by those who consciously recorded events of the time. Do you understand what that's saying? Slave owning by free Negroes was so common in the period of the Commonwealth as to pass unnoticed and without criticism by those who consciously recorded events of the time. But these are the fucking true facts that occurred here in Americas, okay? When you think that only gringos enslaved our people and raped our women and hung us to trees and all, nah, bro, not at all, man. See this? The most remarkable property right possessed by the free Negroes was what? To own, purchase, and alienate slaves. Indeed, for more than 20 years, from the time when free Negroes first appeared in the courts, there were no legal restrictions upon their rights to own indentured white servants in Virginia. And see, this is what disgusts me, especially those, not all white folks, but those that believe in white nationalism, like they're so fucking superior. They believe the critical race theory. It's funny. They're scared of the critical race theory, even though that's not real, but they don't want to admit that they were slaves too. They were being bought. Let me skip that. There were black slave holders in Boston as early as 1727. You see this? There were black slave holders in Boston as early as 1727. In Connecticut in 1787. Now, keep in mind as what we're reading. Boston is up north. Connecticut is up north, okay? We're going to read another book pretty soon that's going to be like, oh, shit. Boom. Before we go to the next one, let me finish this. There were black slave holders in Boston in 1727, in Connecticut 1783, in Alabama by 1797. Among the earliest records in the deeds book of St. Augustine, Florida, it is a document recorded the sale of a black slave to a free black. By a free black. Hold on. The fucked up part is that you have been misled by people in your own community. Because if you were really native, like for real, man, I don't think none of us would have a problem, bro. It's not like an envy. No, man. It's like if you are, you are. If you're not, you're not. Historically speaking, you're not. Being misled and then at the same time asking you guys for fucking money. Every single channel that talks about, Aboriginals this, Aboriginals that. Make sure you subscribe to Substack, follow me on this and, hit the like and send me money and donations are welcome and thank you. And they don't work. They live off of you guys believing this shit instead of you listening to your own history and looking back and like, whoa, did this really happen to us or were we really doing this shit? Because now when you see your own history, you're going to start looking at things way fucking different. Then it says here, free black owners were as usual a thing much more severe on their slaves than the white owners. I'm not saying anybody here in particular, but if you feel good about seeing people in slavery and you think, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't feel better about it. That shit's whack. You kidding me, bro? You got children in slavery. So now we're going to go to page 434. 434 so you can actually understand what I'm talking about here. This is on page 34. Slave holding by colored townmen were likewise fairly frequent. The suggestion of this letter that many of the well-to-do colored freedmen tended to prize their distinctive position so strongly as to deplore any prospect of a general emancipation for fear it would submerge them in the great black mass.
Gotcha, bitch.
How long are we going to continue to deny? If this was my history, I would not be denying this shit. I would be investigating. Like, bro, did we really do this shit? This is Africa's in the Americas, 1500 to 1540. It says here, restoring the role that persons of African descent have played in the creation of the saga of the Western civilization has been the motivation of our creation of the African Americans documentary series and the writings of this book. The repopulating of the Western Hemisphere through a series of voluntary and involuntary migrations over the past 500 years was never a one-sided process, and it was never solely a European experience. It may come as a surprise to many Americans to learn that African people played an essential part in this process. From the very beginning, according to one source, from the very beginning. Then it says, according to one source, Alonso Prieto, the pilot of Columbus ship in the Niña 1492, was a mulatto, a person of mixed black and white ancestry. Critical race theory is a lie. Your stories did not start in 1619. In 1502, the great Italian explorer was accompanied by a black cabin boy named Diego. The year of Columbus returned from the final voyage of the Americas in 1504. You see this right here? In 1508, Ponce de Leon, usually remembered for his exploration of Florida in search of the legendary king of Ethiopia, that never found, Preston John, and his fabled fountain of youth, took armed black men with him to conquer Puerto Rico. Diego Velázquez from 1511 to 1512 employed other Africans to help seize Cuba. In fact, Velázquez advised King Ferdinand that many black slaves had assisted him in the conquest of the islands. Bro.
Gotcha, bitch.
Ultimately, by 1867, according to the Transatlantic Slave Trade Database, approximately 12.5 million Africans had been sold into the New World slavery. You know the story on that one. So now let's search further. As we continue, now that you know, natives, all of this stuff, Europeans, right, Anglo, light skin, they didn't just do it themselves. Y'all helped them. You guys helped them. Marcus, your people helped the Europeans. It is equally important and surprising to many of us, because he's black, to note that not all of the first Africans who assisted the Spanish and Portuguese came as slaves. Nah, not at all. Some untold number of free people of African descent, black conquistadors, born in Africa or on the Iberian Peninsula, also accompany Spanish conquistadors, such as Hernán Cortés and Ponce de León. Now, keep in mind, black conquistadors, Ponce de León, Hernán Cortés, Hernán de Soto, Christopher Columbus. What did they all have in common? What did Christopher Columbus do? Wasn't all these conquistadors kidnapping 9, 10-year-old girls and raping them? Africans helped them. It wasn't just the white man that did this shit. Africans also did this shit. So when you have culture vulturing, erasure like this kind of stuff, acting as if motherfuckers that did this shit didn't do this shit. No. See, this is where it then is where now you really pushed it. Two of the famed explorers of the vast region that would become modern Mexico and the western and southern regions of the United States. And as we might expect, their exploits were just as heroic and just as problematic. Why? You can't use that as scapegoat anymore. See, here's the irony of this whole thing. The white man don't want to admit the fact that the black man helped him. And the black man don't want to admit the fact that they did help him, because then both of your stories are kaputs. Far more Africans came with the Spanish and the Portuguese as slaves, servants with various degrees of freedom, and attendants and armed adventurer. They participated in some way in virtually all of the Spanish expeditions in the New World. First, you know what's even worse? We show people like you this shit here. And it's like you don't even fucking register. Forget about the black. You were a conquistador. You come from conquistadors. You see that? You come from slavers. You come from slavers, Marcus. My points are half-assed, but you're here listening, making dumbass comments, acting at first like a fool. We show you a bunch of shit, even your own people enslaving people like you. All of a sudden, now that shit is forgetful. Now you don't understand. Now all of a sudden, my points are half-assed. Go back to the page, Asterisks on the Spanish Rule, page 229. It says here, apart from direct land alienation, certain secondary features of Spanish landholding seriously affected Indian welfare. The presence of a Spanish property near an Indian community commonly resulted in what were called offenses or agravios by Negro servants, usually robbery and forced entry into Indian houses. You can't get through these people, bro.
That he represents. He is a universal monarch, a universal king, the black man of Asia, the original inhabitants of Asia.
A lot of these black pretendians don't just believe that they were the original Egyptians, the original Moors, the original Native Americans. They also believe that they were the original Buddhas, yo. Oh man, you see that sick ass lineup? Guys, that shit ain't fucking hair. That's a fucking headdress. Original ancient Cambodian Buddha headdresses typically feature a conical makuta to elaborate a hair bun, often stylized as lotus flower reflecting divine kinship. If you cannot see that that is a headdress, you have an archaic brain, bro. You think people's head, there's just things popping out like that, right? And on top of the badness, those are snails on Buddha's head. Whenever you see hair like this, the snail headdress is a symbolic feature in Buddhist arts. I'm not even going to go any further, right? These dudes are doing what they're doing with Queen T, right? They grabbed this headdress of Queen T and they're saying, look, guys, just like this, right? Same thing like this, getting thousands of views, right? Everyone's eating it up. They're doing it with this, right? But if you look, there's beads on that. That's not hair, bro. That's a headdress. But bigger than that, many of these headdresses have a hole in the forehead. If you remove it, right, you're going to see this is what the people's hair look like, right? Like this, man. You could clearly see that's a headdress, man. You know how many deceptive photos I've seen where they cut off the top part right here, right? Where my face is at, they'll cut it off and just have this and be like, look, guys, that's all black women out there, man. And how we know these aren't Bantu knots, because with the Bantu knots, you could obviously see the chain track lines.
Before I get started, dog, I gotta hit my blood, because y'all niggas is trill. Somebody please tell me, when did niggas start thinking they was Native American? What? Bro, black Americans are trying to pull the old Elizabeth Warren. Black people, you're acting like white people, okay? You're literally erasing your true heritage. Let's go through this step-by-step timeline on how niggas got here so I can remind y'all of y'all goddamn history. I don't even know where to start. First, all humans originate from Africa. But black people especially originate from Africa. We never left. Niggas got took by the niggas who left. Do not let me forget to mention that we know exactly how the native people got to America. Their ancestry is connected to this land by 20,000 years. That is millennia before niggas put niggas on slave ships and brought niggas to America. You know this because they literally documented it. The putting a nigga on the ship to bringing the nigga here, when the nigga got on the plantation, how many niggas they sold. Oh my God, we have so much evidence to prove the contrary to what the fuck y'all believe. Bruh, niggas fought and died so that y'all could understand y'all history, so that we could have our history, so that y'all niggas could simply read y'all history. We are bruh. Shouldn't have to explain this shit. The only reason we have any Native American in us, because Native Americans and black people were forced to be next to each other. We were both basically slaves. People fuck. Doesn't mean your ancestry has been here for 20,000 years like theirs. Niggas was brought and sold here. You know this because these are business records. They don't get rid of business records. They have to know where their money's coming from, how much money they have, all type of shit. Capitalism must document itself. Oh, they're erasing history. Nigga, what for? Make it make sense. Why would they tell us we were slaves? Where the fuck do y'all get this shit? Niggas wrote books about slavery. I mean, bro, niggas went to war about... There's so much evidence. This is completely CIA capitalism brain. Niggas that was in slavery did not know they were from Africa. Literally had to fight and die to gather that education. Doing exactly what the white man wants. Returning to an erasure of your heritage. An erasure of your culture. Because your culture was one of warriors, one of resistance. This is why they had to erase it in the first place. Because niggas was revolting and niggas was not going for slavery. More niggas died due to not going for slavery than niggas was enslaved.
Hey, you know, he's right, man. You guys were the ones that were fighting back. Our people were decimated getting fucking smallpox from you guys too, though. But, you know what I mean? Again, you can say here, neither there or there. Here we go. Next.
Let's talk about race and ethnicity. In the USA, Mexicans are seen as a hybrid race, Native American and mainly Spanish. You're going to kind of have that mix there. And there's a predictable look that most Mexican Americans have, or Mexicans have. When we think of a Mexican person, there's a certain look. Think of Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, perfect example. On a similar note though, black Americans are in a similar situation there. And that is that if you're a black American, you're something like 2/3, 3/4 African DNA, and the rest is predictably going to be European. So if you're a black American, you're already a mixed race. But what's weird is in the United States, if somebody has a black parent, then on the other side, they have a parent who is 100% European descent. Well, if they have a child, when they have a child, that child is biracial or mixed. Which is funny to me because already the black parent is already mixed themselves. It's not until that we tip the scales where there's more European DNA that they become mixed. But as far as if there's more African DNA, they're not considered mixed. Most black Americans are just called black Americans. They're not called mixed. Not until they have a child with someone who is basically 100% European. For Mexican Americans and black Americans, we're talking about groups of people who are by default biracial. But it's not really perceived that way, even though it actually is that way, even though DNA tests confirm that. I think that's interesting. I think we need to have open, honest conversations about this.
And he said she was a full-blooded Cherokee.
Like almost all African Americans I know, my relatives are convinced that we have Native Americans in the family.
I have a little Choctaw Indian.
You talk about the cheekbones and...
Yeah, you do have high cheekbones.
She always had long black hair.
Tina grew up believing that two of her grandparents were part Native American.
But you're only 1% Native American. You know how your family has always thought that you had all this Native American heritage?
Yes.
It was white heritage that you had.
All this time I've been thinking Indian. I was dying to find out what tribe it was.
You're from the tribe of Europe.
And I'm 3% Native American. So I got just a little Indian.
You got a little Indian in you. 0% Native American. And 0% Native American. And 0% who were Native American.
Well, I'm going to have to tell the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma now. I misrepresented myself. I'm not Choctaw at all, you know.
And you'll see there's no figure for Native American because you ain't got no Native American.
Set the record straight.
Even Don Cheadle, who we would expect to have some Native American ancestry because of the connection to the Chickasaw, members of your family owned by Native Americans. But we don't find any.
Wow.
And you're not alone in not having any measurable Native American ancestry. 1 in about every 20 African Americans only 1 in 20 has any significant amount of Native American ancestry.
Now, according to this...
Let me ask you, black folks that want to be indigenous, I don't understand why you don't appreciate your own, like, yourselves. Y'all have a really beautiful fucking history. You guys are strong people. Matter of fact, the whole world knows that you guys are the most muscular people in the entire world. Like you said, you're the fastest, strongest, biggest maybe at this time, most muscular. So I don't understand why you don't want to be you. Like, for real. Why you want to be Mexicans? We're the smallest. We eat tortillas all the time. Corn is in our bloodline. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? You want to be us? Do you really want to be us? Or is there a problem? What is the real issue?
Test. Lyndon Johnson Rice, you have an extraordinary amount of European ancestry for an African American. 40%.
20% European.
You are 1/5 white.
Wow. Oh, man.
Can you read these percentages?
32.2 European.
You are 1/3 white.
I am not.
I'm 35% European. 19% European.
Are you surprised to know that you have that much European ancestry?
I guess so. As dark complected as I am.
It means you're 1/3 white.
Well, that's surprising.
You are 33% European.
Now, this is the 1870 census, Tom. And what we find is that your great-great-grandmother is living with her daughter, Jan.
This is the most interesting video, image, or at least scene that I've ever noticed. And it goes deep into the understanding of why you guys need to be careful when you have BHI trying to tell you, hey man, listen, you are of these tribes charts. If you're from Mexico, you're Issachar, and if you're from here, you're the... Nah, bro. Trust, test, and believe. It don't work like that. Check it out. Check it out. Because they would embrace this man. They, IUIC, ISUPK, everybody would embrace this man if he would have said, oh, I'm an Israelite. Watch. And he's not. Check it out.
And her son, Robert, in the household. But can you see who is living next door?
Edward Hall?
Edward Hall.
I'm not finished. Amazing as this was, you turn the page, my brother. That is Ed Hall's father, your third great-grandfather.
A Supreme Court justice in...
It's you, white boy. You see, that's you. A white boy. But now, today, you have black features. But you're still white. See what I'm saying? A lot of you motherfuckers don't even realize that shit. Trying to tell us, like, oh, conquistadors, Cortez. Motherfucker, do you not know that you are Cortez? Did you not know that? Who do you think came to the Americas initially in 1492? Think it was just a bunch of white boys? Nah, man. Hell the fuck no. We know who came. People like you, like that. Mixture. Supplanting some other nation at the same time. Listen to me, family. Tell me, please, tell me again. Are you indigenous or not? Okay, so who the fuck was kicked out of Spain? Was it white people? The people that were kicked out of Spain initially in 1492 weren't necessarily white people.
The state of North Carolina.
A Supreme Court justice in the state of...
Three.
That's right. That's your ancestor. Direct. Smoking pistol.
I've looked around my family. I haven't seen anybody in my family that have gray eyes.
So your great-grandfather was a white man. Did you know this?
Yeah, my mother said so.
How are white ancestors part of African-American history, do you think?
How?
Sure. Or are they?
Gosh, yeah, of course they're a part of our African-American history. And
What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you saying? You're saying y'all were blackity black all the time and shit, getting enslaved, and then we find out that, nah, you guys had slaves too since 1492 and fought for the Confederacy in 1865 to keep being Negro buck-breaking slavers. And you know what? No one can debunk that shit. At this point now, at this time of our society, at least with the information that we have, no one can debunk the shit that I'm saying. And that's why nobody comes to my channel no more and fucks with me. Because at first, they were getting mad at me and shit. They're like, oh, this fucking guy, he's a racist. And then they found out, like, when they went to check it. And they're like, oh my God, this guy's right. See, I never lied. Listen, I don't lie in this channel. And yeah, some of you guys say like, oh my, you got some weird ass awkward schedule. Yeah, I do, man, because like I've dealt with insomnia all my life. Sometimes I get a chance to sleep. Sometimes I don't. Yeah, I deal with insomnia. So anyways, let's continue.
And more prevalent in the South than anywhere else in the country.
And I have your results, Snoop. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm also ready.
Snoop Dogg, you are 0% East Asian.
Wait a minute. I don't got no Asian in me. I like Chinese food.
Snoop, you are 23% Native American. That's pretty big.
That's real big.
All
That
right?
only leaves 77% left.
You are 6% European.
Well, so what does that mean?
Hang on. The moment we've all been waiting for. Charles Barkley is 75% Sub-Saharan African, aka black. Drum roll, please. Snoop Dogg, you are 71% Sub-Saharan African. Oh my God, Snoop. Charles Barkley is blacker than you are.
Oh no!
Charles Barkley got your ass by 4%.
Oh no! I want to feel like George Bush right now. We got to have a revote. This ain't right. This ain't right.
Charles wasn't able to be here tonight, but he sent you a message. Check this out.
Hey guys, thank you for this honor. I am the notorious DNA. Hey, I'm sorry I can't be there tonight. Hey Snoop,
We want to admit that shit was funny as fuck.
I would love to meet you actually. Hey, but Snoop, I'm gonna just call you Whitey from now on instead of Snoop. I'm actually on the set of this new movie, Soul Plane 3. I got your part, Snoop. Let me tell you something else, Harry Reid. You keep pissing us black people off.
That shit was funny. Okay, so yeah. All right, my friends. It's not over yet. Got one more little video. We need to prove a point. We need to prove a point. We got about 24 minutes and shit, and we all going to sleep. Hold on. Try to do something today. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Careful.
Yo, now this is a quick one, okay? We're gonna debunk the Washita Pretendian Moors that all these black grifters claim. The Washita Nation, or Washita, de-dug the mound, y'all. De-dug the, right, that's French, but de-dug the mound, y'all. They're saying, we dug the mounds, y'all. We dug the mounds, y'all. Did they find Negro DNA in the mound builders in America? Fucking no, right? But bigger than that, right? The origins of the word Moor or Mer, right? All this Washita stuff, right? The Washita Nation claims ownership of a land from the Louisiana Purchase based on alleged Spanish grants, including, according to scribes, a grant to Marquise de Maison Rouge. You see the D? That's French. And a 1795 marriage between the French King Louis and the Washita Tunic Harris. Right? They identify as indigenous, pre-colonial people and sovereign to this land. Which I just showed you. That the word Moor means an Arab or a Berber. Right? But there's white Moors and black Moors. The white Moors are called Bidens. Those are the dominant Moors, right? The black Moors are called the Harrisons, right? Those are the slaves. But bigger than that, right? Again, making up roughly 40% of Mauritania's population, they are historically the descendants of enslaved people, okay? black African ethnic groups in North Africa. Right? They're sub-Saharans in North Africa, taking on a white Arab type of thing, right? Anywho, so as we could see, okay, the Spanish often hinge on the 1795 mentions, blah 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 blah. Okay, got that right. See that? Now, the Nation of Islam, they are connected with this Washita Nation, right? These terrorists, right? Again, a Moor is a white Arab Berber, but just because you are white doesn't mean you could be a dark-skinned white guy or a light-skinned white guy. So they're not the Moors. They're not the mound builders, because the DNA, like, clearly those aren't you. And plus, all of this whole Washita stuff goes back to a French knight. A French guy, right? Now, these guys talking about the NOI, the Nation of Islam. This is your leader, right? This guy, this Chinese guy. You're telling me, right? The NOI, the Nation of Islam, right? The Moors, right? This is your leader?
Hold on. That's what I said. That's what I had fucking said in the past. Okay, just letting y'all know.
Him? And his leader was this white?
Fuck that shit. Are you telling me, bro? You're letting the Filipino lead the Negro? A Filipino is leading the Negro? For real? It almost makes me think about, like, that brother Seneca says that blacks came out of Asians. That's what he's saying.
Okay? Right? You're telling me, okay? Hold up. You're telling me Elijah Muhammad's brother. Hold on. The fuck, man? Oh yeah, right here. Listen to this.
I'm going to give you some hints.
I want you to pay attention. He's going to talk Chinese, but then... God damn, that's just loud. He's going to talk Chinese, like a Chinese accent or Asian accent, but then he's going to go to like a country white hillbilly accent. He's going to go from white Asian accent to West countryside of Scotland accent that became the pirate accent that is actually a white hillbilly accent that a lot of black Americans, whatever state you're from, for some reason you adopt this. That is the accent that this dude is doing, which it's not a black American accent when people talk like white rednecks and hillbillies. By the way, redneck and hillbilly was a term of endearment. The hillbillies were actually in the west countryside of Scotland, right? Which looks the same as the South out here in America, right? They look exactly the same. Those people were fighting fighting for their religion, and this king was protecting their religion, and there was a big brawl, and those farmers, those country redneck white hillbillies, they were known as the Billy Boys because they were helped by the king to keep their religion, right? And redneck and hillbilly, those were good words, by the way, right? But that's where this accent comes from. So there is no such thing as black American culture, bro. The accent is white. Even like when it comes to swag or steez, right? Creating your own thing, that is white hillbilly thing, which I'll break down later, right? As well as being lazy and whatever. But listen to this guy, right? Listen to this dude. This is a Chinese guy. Listen to him, right? This is Elijah Muhammad's brother, bro.
Some you might see don't have a tarsal on it, right?
Some see they might not have a torso, right? But then he's gonna go country, right? Right.
What is the meaning of the tarsal? What is the meaning of it? Hanging down. Well, I tell you, it means the same thing that it means when you are graduating.
By the way, guys, the Nation of Islam has nothing to do with Muslim shit at all whatsoever. It's zero. Has nothing to do with actual Muslim shit. This is like a weird cult. Most likely a psychological operation. But is that a motherfucking fucking Baphomet star with the damn sun? The moon? Anywho, listen to this. Listen to this.
That means knowledge. This here means knowledge.
That mean knowledge. That mean knowledge.
Nationality are you? Oh, I'm a nigga. I'm a Negro. I'm Afro-American. You still dumb as hell.
We got this freaking Asian dude talking down on black folk, and the black folk in this thing are like fucking sucking his dick and shit, bro. Like, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I heard somebody tell me that, like, yeah, you say you're a damn Hispanic, but you're just a dumbass fucking Mexican. But it's like, dude, you are not even us. Who the fuck are you, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? This guy, right? Oh god, man, I'm getting geeked. I am getting geeked. Right? Right? Now, check this out. Hold on. Check this out. Hold up. Nope. Give me a second. Oh, here it is, right? Here it is. This book is called African Origins of Freemasonry, the true history of Freemasonry in Africa and its resurrection among Africans in the diaspora. This book was written by a pretendian moron, right? This book basically breaks down how the Egyptians, the original Freemasons, which are not black people, their descendants are the Arabs, the white Arabs. But this guy wants to say, no, it's all black shit. Right? Dumb motherfuckers. Right? We're doing this live, guys. Unfortunately, I gotta do this shit. Right? Simple. Right, Nubian, which are black people. Egyptians, which are non-black people, right? I'm sorry if I sound so blunt. It is what it is. Okay. What's a good picture? What's a good one? Right. If you don't see this, you are an idiot. Okay. These guys, which black people are claiming they are, and I'm sorry for my long ass fingers, right? Those are sub-Saharan Africans, the Nubians. These were the pyramid builders who they have white DNA, and then there's black folk. Oh shit. The fuck. Right? Just keep looking. See this, right? There were two types of people, the Nubians and the ancient Egyptians, which I should have actually fucking pulled up my Instagram, right? But clearly, okay, we can see the difference between the Nubians and the ancient Egyptians, like this right here, okay? If you were to go to Skid Row and you go to all the black people, who looks like Tyrone? This guy with the white people phenotype who's wearing a wig, which if you take the wig off, they have straight hair, or this afro, nappy-headed, big lip, big nose dude. Who would be your average Tyrone you would see in America? This guy or this guy? Right? This primary source. Nubian tribute. Who are? And as we can see, Nubian tribute. But let's just wait. Let's. Goddamn, why the fuck this shit so little? crap. Okay. Well, that's not any better. Okay, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute.
And as we, what the hair looks like, it's a redhead lady with straight
Okay,
hair.
you see this?
Nubians, Kushites, Black Americans, they don't have straight hair.
Look at this all over the goddamn internet. All over the internet. These fucking bozos grab this headdress of Queen T, which, if you actually look at the original before it got old, it's like a blue type of wig, like a blue cap, but it looks like brown hair, right?
Afrocentrics use this picture.
You see the Uraeus in the forehead? Motherfuckers are making money off of this bitch right here. Talking about, hey man, sign up to my fucking Patreon, buy my stupid fucking shirts because, hey guys, this is a fucking black lady. But if you take off the wig,
You're gonna fall victim.
right? Take off the motherfucking wig.
That's for where the snake goes. The
Hold
Uraeus.
up.
If you were to take this cap off, this is what the hair looks like.
Bro, take off the cap. Stop capping. This is a red-haired lady, dude. Straight hair. Caucasian features and DNA. She is connected to the Armana family, which is connected with Akhenaten, right? And other dudes. That whole dynasty is non-Negro. Mainly white DNA. The Nubians, or the Afro, nappy-headed, big-nosed dudes that were enslaved by these people, they only ruled Egypt for 100 years, bro. Right.
It's a redhead lady with straight hair.
Right.
Nubians, Kushites, Black.
Right. Let's keep going. Y'all gotta stop being... And look, I don't talk like this, but unfortunately, I got to. Stop being fucking stupid, dude. Right? Stop acting like a fucking idiot. And look at this, right? So these guys claim copper colored, right? Copper colored. Copper. Copper is a pale red tinged with yellow. That's what pure copper looks like. These guys grab dirty pennies and put it on their forehead talking about, look man, we was this, right? We ain't black, man. But no, you motherfuckers aren't Moors, aren't Egyptians. Y'all motherfuckers aren't even copper colored, my dude. Bro, you see this? And this rhetoric came from this guy right here, their master, right? Dan Calloway, right? This clearly proves why the 1828 Webster's Dictionary definition is, you know, copper color. It's about us, right? You look in his same motherfucking book, a metal of a pale red color tinged with yellow, right? This is the same book. Clearly, I just showed you guys, not the same. But bigger than that, in that same book, if you type in Negro, it says you're a motherfucking African, dude. Right? Do these guys look copper colored? This is what the average black dude looks like. Are these guys copper colored? Right? This was my friend, my ex-friend, so he fucking turned on me, right? Talking about, look guys. He put this penny and said, look guys, we ain't black, right? This nigga said, we ain't black. Fuck. Come on, man. Right? We ain't black. Yeah. It's a dirty pen. Bro, that's not your skin, my dude. Right? These are your people? Does this look like Tyrone and them? Bro. Right. Right. Like, no, dude. Stop capping.
All right, fam, we're gonna go put it to sleep. Good night. Hold on a second, real quick. Thank you for being here. Give me a moment.
Pascualito Nali. Escucha, desde el ombligo del cerro late la voz. Ay. Nica nica, tlayitlen no yoyo, pisando fuerte, tlachino y en el ojo. Nica en huevo, el sencagüe y sonido, cada golpe mis abuelos contigo. Paso lento, tropa en la neblina, Camanagua suena, vibra la colina. Soy raíz, soy volcán que respira, soy el grito que en la piedra se afila. A chiquita digo, mira lo que traigo, lengua vieja con colmillo no me caigo. Entre concreto sigo hablando con el maíz, la soca mati sigo firme, sigo aquí. La yeyangüe, bom bom bom, campatoneo animich latlao. La yeyangüe, bom bom bom, desde Anáhuac hasta el barrio actual. La yeyangüe, bom bom bom, se levanta la palabra ancestral. La yeyangüe, bom bom bom, somos guerra, somos paz total. Ni más igual pero mente de jaguar, entre sombras mi palabra va a brillar. En español tiro filo pa' que entiendas, en nahual suena fuego entre las piedras. Mimiditas, te veo cuando mientes, tu discurso es cartón frente a los viejos serpientes. Yo camino con la lluvia en la piel, cada gota dice cuida, cuida lo que es. Saltic bajo mis pies, siente el peso, cada paso lenta marcha rezo y exceso. Ni can ni mis lata tiro luz en lo gris, de la sierra hasta la urbe sigo hablando por el maíz. La yiyangüe, bom bom bom, campatoneo animis la latlao. La yiyangüe, bom bom bom, desde Anáhuac hasta el barrio actual. La yiyangüe, bom bom bom, se levanta la palabra ancestral. La yiyangüe, bom bom bom, somos guerra, somos paz total.
Atléntica, ¿quién eres si arrancas tu raíz?
Duerme el miedo, llora lo que fue, pero nica nica no me borra tu papel. Soy la voz que se tatúa en el tesontle de la piel. Cuando tiemble la ciudad, escucha bien ese trueno en mi idioma renaciendo otra vez. La yiyangüe, bom bom bom, la yiyangüe, bom bom bom, la yiyangüe, bom bom bom,
Pokunapunku Shikambalam, Tlazocamakti Miyak Shikambalam. Muchas gracias Shikambalam por tu apoyo, por tu acompañamiento, por tu esfuerzo al rescate de la identidad y por dejar huella en nuestros hijos. ¡Gracias, Shikam!
Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa.
Hey. Yo soy la tierra, la sangre, los sueños, las ganas, el hambre, la luz en los ojos de mi santa madre. Hecho de barro, de rama, de viento, de hueche de carne, el sol cae en mi brazo por la tarde. Si preguntan quién soy, soy mi tierra, curtida de gobierno, de estafa, de guerra. Soy el hornero mostrando la sala, la vida, la muerte, la pluma y la bala, la soledad del rico, el sueño del pobre, la verdad de que el gobierno no se esconde, las huellas perdidas, el cuándo y el dónde. Ninguna dictadura va a poder borrar mi nombre, porque al futuro vengo de Tierra Santa. Latinoamericano llora, canta. Tengo la sonrisa celeste y blanca, si subo la mirada la luna se levanta. Yo voy al futuro, vengo de Tierra Santa. Latinoamericano llora, canta. Tengo una sonrisa celeste y blanca, si subo la mirada la luna se levanta. Mi cicatriz, mi historia, mi fama, mi gloria, mi pena por panas desaparecido, memoria. Por los guachos, carnales, puñetas, gurises, chapales, al mundo le tiembla el piso por la euforia. Busco la paz en Bolivia, las calles de Chile, me busco en invierno el aguardiente de Colombia. Vengo del barrio del tango y llego al meridiano para borrar con la mano la línea divisoria. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir. Yo vine al mundo a defender mi tierra, soy el salvador pacífico en la guerra, me voy a morir luchando. Estoy firme como un venezolano, soy Atacama, Guaraní, Cochabamba, Tucano. Si quieren tirarme el país, lo levantamos. Los indios construimos los imperios con las manos. Voy al futuro, vengo con mis hermanos, de diferentes padres pero no nos separamos. Soy el fuego del Caribe y un guerrero peruano. Le doy gracias a Brasil por el aire que respiramos. A veces pierdo, a veces gano, pero no es en vano morirme por la tierra que amo. Y si los de afuera preguntan cómo me llamo, mi nombre es latino y mi apellido americano. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Soy de donde nací, donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa. Si preguntan quién soy, qué llevo, a dónde voy, soy de Tierra Santa. Donde voy a morir, mi Tierra Santa.
Ical, hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.